Right, well, the time's just ticked past 12:30, so I guess we should probably kick this off. Hello, everyone. My name's Paul Jones. I'm the Chief Digital Information Officer. Apologies from quite a few of my exec colleagues today, I'm afraid. That's why you've got me, although I'm absolutely delighted to be able to chair today. We've got a few of the execs on holiday, and I think there's a VIP visit over at the LGI that's dragged a few people off too. I think we've got an RPIW reporting out today, which is always exciting and interesting. Jimmy, I don't have who's leading on this. All right, Catherine, over to you.
So hello, everybody, and welcome to our report out. My name's Catherine, and I'm an improvement specialist in the KPO team. I've been the workshop lead for this rapid process improvement workshop. This is our project form on the screen. We were asked to support improvement to the Rapid Assessment Unit, or RAU at LGI, which is part of A&E, which supports ambulatory patients. The majority of patients in A&E are streamed into RAU, which leads to substantial demand and pressure on the service, long wait times for patients, negative patients and staff experience. The boundaries for this process are patient being streamed into RAU to then being admitted or discharged from the department. The team are now going to tell you more about what we achieved this week.
Hello, my name's Sophie Williams. I'm also an improvement specialist in the KPO team and a team leader for this event in RAU. This is our target progress report, or in other words, our metrics grid that shows our baseline for improvement. The lead time was 4 hours, 18 minutes on average for patients getting streamed into RAU through to them being a decision being made about their care. The sponsors and the planning team came up with an ambitious target of 2 hours. The work in process is a snapshot in time of the amount of patients waiting in RAU, and it was 38, which means our standard work in process is, or SWIP, is about the health of our process, and 23 was the baseline with a target of 6. So it showed that we had bottlenecks in the process, basically. We then decided to measure some defects, patients who leave without being seen, cubicles unavailable for doctor to do their reviews, and you can see the baselines for them there. The delivery metric was about average time for the patient to see the clinician in minutes. The baseline was 174 with a target of 60. We also wanted to measure staff satisfaction and patient satisfaction. So we measured that about experience-based design. So how people described how they felt towards the current process in RAU, and if they'd answered negative or neutral, that shows in the 80% and 33 respectively. This is our our TAC time calculation sheet, which shows the overall RAU is open 24 hours a day, 1,440 minutes, in other words. And if we've got all that time available, but our patient demand is 130 patients on average, the TAC time calculation shows just over 11 minutes. Every 11 minutes or so, we should be seeing a patient to keep the seeing the demand throughout the service. I will pass you over to Tara.
Hello, my name is Tara. I'm a service manager within urgent care, and I'm a process owner for this RPIW. So what you are looking at now is the current process for our patients going through our RAU team at A&E at LGI. So as you can see, after being sent to the team by the streamer at the front desk, the patient then waits, gets their initial observations done by CSW. They then wait again and wait to see a nurse who will then assess them. They then wait again to see a doctor who will review them, review the symptoms. Any tests that have been done will be reviewed, and a plan for further treatment will be taken. And then following a further wait, a decision will be made, either TCI or discharge. So all in all, for the average patient journey of the observations, the patient wait time is around 3 hours, 51 minutes. and the time spent with staff for a patient is around 27 minutes, which shows that non-value added time for patients in their journey is around 90%. Some of the issues that the observations noted was that patients were leaving because they simply did not want to wait anymore. There were shortages of some equipment, things like cubicles, and patients were missed. So previously, patients were picked up by doctors in a box from their front sheet, and sometimes that was missed. Thank you.
Hello, my name's James. I'm one of the emergency medicine registrars, and I'm a team member on this project. So some work was done to establish the spread of work amongst each of the healthcare professionals involved in the patient's journey. As you can see, the burden of work is split unevenly, with the doctors spending more time performing tasks than the nursing and their CSW colleagues. This has resulted in a significant bottlenecking in the system, whereby the doctors weren't able to keep up with the work flowing from upstream in the process.
Hello, my name's Tony and I'm a quality improvement partner with LTHT and a full-time member of the away team for this RPIW. Here we have the patient satisfaction comments which were collected before the week. And these are the staff comments.
Hello, my name's Amy. I'm one of the senior sisters in urgent care. I was a process owner for this RPIW. Overall, the team came up with 55 ideas. The main themes of these were roles and responsibilities, flow, tech, and patient experience. So the team looked at which ideas would be achievable within one day, this week, and within 30 days. The team split themselves into two groups. One group discussed roles and responsibilities, and one group discussed flow. When the team came back together as one group, they identified the same idea. This was for a nurse and or a CSW, along with a doctor, to assess patients at the same time when nursing assessment would normally take place. We then discussed how this would be best delivered, and we moved on to trialling it in RAU on day one.
Good afternoon, my name is Halima. I'm a clinical support worker working in A&E. As part of the RPIW, I am a team member. On day one, we went to the Gemba, which is the RAU department. Our aim was to trial the new idea we came up with on a small amount of patients. We had a doctor and a nurse to collaborate together and pick up the next patient. And then we had also a trial for a CSW and a doctor to team up and assess the patient. We followed 3 patient journeys from the patient arriving in the RAU waiting room, having their observations done by a CSW, all the way to when they were either discharged or TCI'd. Whilst the trial was happening, we had members of staff from the RPIW who were collating stats and numbers to compare with the previous process.
Hello, my name's Lauren Pratt and I'm the Business Support Manager for A&E, and I'm a team member for the RPIW week this week. On day 2 of our RPIW trial, we did attend the Gemba to understand the standardised work and the implementation of the cubicle setup. We reviewed 3 cubicles in terms of what resource equipment was required and ensured that our home teams were on board with what their responsibilities were as an operator, and this gave us an opportunity to brief the teams in terms of this process. Between the timings of 10 AM and 12 o'clock, we ran the trial in each 3 of the cubicles and measured the lead time overall, including the further assessment with the nurse and clinician. Whilst trialling the standard work, this helped us as a team to focus our attentions on improving the overall wait for clinician and assessment time. Thank you, and I'll pass you on to Mandy.
Hi, my name's Mandy Lee. I'm the Business Support Manager for Urgent Care. I was a team member for the RPIW week. For day 3, we decided we were going to do an extended period of time to run the trial. So we started that between 9:30 in the morning and 2:30 in the afternoon. The cubicles were set up prior to this and the nursing and clinical teams were briefed. Whilst the trial was running, we decided we were going to bring some of the actions into place that we'd taken from day 2. These included relabeling computers and printers, ensuring they were all working correctly to ensure smooth processes. And we also applied a new desk area within the observation unit to enable us to apply wristbands to the patients on arrival. Thank you.
After our intervention, you can see that there remains an uneven spread of work amongst the various healthcare professionals, but there have been important changes. Whilst the burden of work does remain within the doctor group, this has been reduced overall, and importantly, now a large proportion of that work is shared between nursing and doctor teams through collaborative working. Not only does this streamline the work and reduce the bottleneck, but it encourages team cohesion and shared decision making. As the old saying goes, 2 heads are always better than 1.
So thinking about the value stream map that I shared with you earlier, this is a process map based on the new process, so our future state. So what you can see is that steps have been taken out. So I'll just walk you through it. So in the same way before, patient comes into the RAU, sees a CSW, gets their observations, and if appropriate, a ECG. They also get a wristband printed. So the change here is that a doctor and a nurse will see the patient together. So a true MDT assessment and a treatment plan, any investigations and tests are ordered at this point. Following those test results coming back, the results are reviewed. And again, using that MDT approach, a decision is made for TCI or discharge. Using this new process, the lead time for the patient in RAU from observations has come down to 2 hours.
My role this week has been to walk in the other's shoes as outside eyes, watching and listening with as a respectful critical friend. This RPIW has demonstrated the potential for the creation of a transformed future state if the new way can be embedded. Collecting feedback, I learned that staff satisfaction with the new way of working was high, with 86% positivity. Similarly, patient satisfaction was very pleasing at 88%. In conclusion, it is all to play for.
So I get the pleasure of sharing these fantastic results, and you can see all the green. I've just seen Paul's eyes light up. So the lead time, as you can see on day 4 of our final test, reduced to 1 hour 25 minutes due to the team's hard work, commitment and rapid fire testing. The whip and swip reduced also and reduced that bottleneck as described before. The defects when patients who left without being seen was 0, no patients left. The cubicle unavailable for doctor review went down to 20%. The average time to see clinician in minutes went down from 174 minutes to just 18 minutes. And obviously, because of all that, the staff and patients were really happy with the new process and described, as you saw on the quotes, how fantastic the service was for them.
Afternoon, my name is Manu, an EM consultant, and for the RPIW week, I'm the process owner. Quick summary of what we have done over the last few days. We have set some challenges. We engaged with the staff, got some ideas, trialed some over the next 3 or 4 days, initially for a couple of hours, then 3 hours, and yesterday's trial was over a 5-hour period. And all seem to work very well, and all the results are very positive. Now, thinking of next steps. Now, almost thinking of a full day trial over a 24-hour period to see how it works, engage with staff, get a little bit more feedback, address concerns that might highlight some risks, and we need to put some mitigations in place. And the next step would be a 5-day trial and hopefully feedback in 30 days' time. All looks very positive. I, being a little pragmatic, I understand all these numbers are with a little bit of enthusiasm, and we need to bear that in mind as well. Thank you.
So what have we learned this week? I think we've all had a real appreciation of the team and their roles in a really challenging environment with often very, very sick patients. There were some mental valleys for the team to overcome throughout the week because it's difficult to change the way we've always done things, but they really kind of embraced the process. We've also learned that relatively small changes in process steps can bring a huge impact in terms of the lead time, as you've seen, waiting times for patients and their experience. Just want to say some thank yous before we close. So thank you so much to the away team. So myself and Sophie have been gifted with an enthusiastic and driven team who are really committed to the improvement. I also want to mention Seb, who joined us a part of the week, but hasn't been part of the report out today. Thank you to all the managers for releasing staff for the event and all the people on the advisory list. Thank you to our sponsors, Sarah, Davey and Priyanka Kumari, and the home team who've been continuing the work and testing our new ideas, offering that constructive feedback. Thank you finally to Jimmy, who was our coach this week. Thank you for your support and keeping us on track. So thank you very much. That concludes our report out.
Oh, I mean, absolutely fantastic. I mean, to see the improvement day on day. I mean, a real example of the method working, really. Really good to hear the way you're hoping to take that forward as well, because that was going to be my big question is, you know, that's a fantastic improvement shown when we've got this kind of laser focus on it. How do we take that forward into the day to day? How do we take that forward, over the next few weeks when you don't have people peering over your shoulder and people with their clipboards? How do we just enable that and take that forward? But good to hear from Manu that we're going to try a day trial, a 5-day trial, and we'll bring that back in 30 days. And I'll be looking forward to that. I'm absolutely going to be raising this at exec on Monday afternoon, letting them know what they've missed, because to see that level of improvement, the commitment of the team, the way that's been driven through, gave me goosebumps. Fantastic, absolutely love it. Thank you. I don't know if anybody else has got any questions or queries for the team. I saw lots of thumbs up and lots of hearts. Mike?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. And again, just to echo your words, I mean, that improvement is just fantastic, and it just tells you everything. When a whole team gets behind something, we can make brilliant things happen. I was just wondering, has there been any unintended consequences of particularly having the doctor see the patient much earlier in the process? I mean, and it may be too early to know that yet, but I just wondered whether there's a benefit. I mean, there's a potential benefit of getting a doctor in earlier, isn't there? Because we get a much clearer, agreed view of what the potential problem is. But does it mean that further down the pathway, because the doctors are getting involved much earlier, that there's a problem in being able to get doctors to see patients? I don't know. Is that something anybody's been aware of?
Yeah, so a couple of things have come up that the team would probably want to highlight. No, I've just unmuted us. So some of the team, some of the nursing team particularly, were a little bit concerned about their autonomy, because obviously them triaging is a key step in the process. So some of them are a bit concerned about how it looks in this new model, which is intended to be a joint approach, but perhaps they might defer to the doctor. So it's just working out what that looks like, I think, over the next 30 days, collecting some feedback, understanding their concerns, addressing them, making sure that we've looked at that. Obviously, any other intended consequences that might come out, because it's a different model, we'd need to track and mitigate as well. Would anyone from the team want to highlight anything that they've come across? Yeah, I think that's the main one that we've come across.
Super, thank you. Any more for any more? No, I think that's your lot. Look, absolutely brilliant. I think just a fantastic example, and you should all be incredibly proud of what you've achieved over this week. So let's get hold of that and let's push it forward and see if we can turn it into something that's sustainable and delivers that level of improvement for patients and staff going forward. Absolutely super. Thank you. Oh, Jimmy, did you want to come in?
Yeah, sorry. I was quite rightly reminded, to my memory's memorable, that you might have seen Jenny Lewis featured on one of the report out slides and kindly gave some time to support the team this week and asked that we shared her positivity about what she saw on Wednesday, which, as you've seen, has moved on significantly since then, and just the engagement. So I think you might have to get in there first, execs. I definitely know she wants to bring it to Paul, but yeah, just to make sure that we acknowledge Jenny was keen to celebrate the effort and commitment of this team to the work that you've all heard. Thanks.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jimmy.
I have got one other thing.
Oh, go on.
Although you wouldn't tell it, Catherine has just completed her first workshop lead experience in charge of this team. If she can produce that kind of result every single time. Yeah,
well, that's the bar.
Catherine. If she can complete that result every single time, then my job is definitely under threat. So congratulations to Catherine. It's a challenging thing to do, and she's done a great job. So I acknowledge that as well. Thanks.
Right. Thanks, Catherine. But Catherine, that's the bar set now. Every workshop, at least that good, right? Lovely. That's Report Out for this week. Thank everyone for joining us. Thank you for the team for a fantastic report out on the RPIW. And we'll be back again about this time next week. Take care, everyone. Thank you.